Mora, salary negotiable. Look, Traveler, an urgent hiring notice and they're paying top Mora too! Oh, Paimon likes the sound of that. You're right, it is strange. Do you think something happened to Yanxiao? Cause that guy barely lets anyone ever set foot in his kitchen. Doesn't exactly seem like the type to hire help. The notice says interested parties should go upstairs and talk to the innkeeper Huayan. Should we go and see what's up? Yeah, and we can ask about the pay while we're at it.
Boss, there's really no need for this. It's just a little burn, that's all. It won't get in the way of my work.
Perhaps not, but continuing to work will only hinder your recovery. You need to rest for a few days. We'll figure something out.
Huayan! Yanxiao!
Oh? Traveler and Paimon! What brings you to this neck of the woods?
And we decided to come check up on Yanxiao.
I knew we shouldn't have posted that notice. It's really nothing to worry about. I'm fine. I swear.
How kind of you. My thanks to you both. And thanks on Yanxiao's behalf, too. There's nothing to be embarrassed about, Yanxiao. Just tell them what happened.
Oh, all right. Well, basically, we had a lot of guests pouring in for the lantern rite. Things got busy, I started rushing, and I ended up accidentally burning my hand while plating a dish. Well, you know what they say. Play with fire long enough and you're bound to get burned. Even the best chefs slip up sometimes. Anyway, it's nothing, just a tiny burn. I can still...
Now, I don't want you pushing yourself. You'll only make it worse. And then you'll be looking at more than just a couple of days off to recover.
But the lantern rite's only just finished. And we're still getting tons of guests. Now's not a good time for me to rest. Plus, lots of the guests are visiting from other nations. We can't just bring in some random chef off the street. We have a reputation to uphold. I refuse to let someone else ruin the good name we've made for ourselves here.
Listen to you. Anyone would think that you're the boss and not me. But he's not wrong. Yanxiao was one of the favorites in the Masterful Chefs tournament. No matter how you look at it, his are big boots to fill.
I don't mean to boast, but any chef of my caliber probably has their own restaurant to look after. It's not going to be easy to find someone who's got the skills and has the time to help us out.
Looks like we might have to increase the pay we're offering even further.
Do we know anyone that's a good chef and has the time to help out? Oh, of course, you!
Oh, right. Yes. Now I think about it, I do recall hearing good things about your cooking ability. I suppose I'd added you to my mental list of people who can hold their own in a combat situation, but forgot you can cook.
Why are you even keeping a mental list of people who can fight?
Maybe a story for another time. More importantly, I'm sure Yanxiao would be comfortable leaving his kitchen in your hands, if anyone's. What do you think, Yanxiao?
Well, since it's you, I suppose that's better than anyone else.
What do you think, Traveler? Should we do it?
I should warn you that cooking for customers is quite a different ballgame from cooking for yourself, so I'll stick around the kitchen over the next few days to help smooth things over.
Oh, so he's not leaving the kitchen after all?
I believe there's some spare kitchenware here at the inn. Boss, would you mind?
Of course. I'll take care of it. All done. Come, take a look. This was made with your measurements in mind. Ah, it's nothing. A little handicraft and elbow grease goes a long way. All right, Yanxiao. I'll leave you to take it from here.
You really went to all the trouble of building a new stovetop? What was wrong with the original? Boy, you really hate when people touch your stuff, huh?
No, it's nothing like that. As Boss always says, hire who you trust and trust who you hire. I just thought the original setup might be a little, tall for you. Anyway, as I was saying, cooking for guests is different from cooking for yourself. Not only do you have to execute on taste, aroma, and appearance, but you also need to ensure speed, precision, and consistency. Having the right equipment is a big part of that. Ill-suited equipment doesn't just make the job more tiring, it also slows you down. And paying customers don't have unlimited patience. Sometimes cooking is all about being well prepared. That's how you ensure speed.
Okay, and what about precision and consistency?
Precision all comes down to using your eyes. Where to slice into a particular cut of meat, how much oil to use, how to tell when a dish is done cooking. When you cook for yourself, you can always add salt if it's too bland or add water if it's too salty. You can tweak the taste as you go, but in a restaurant, there's not that much room for trial and error.
Worst case scenario, Paimon can deal with any subpar dishes by making sure they get properly disposed of.
The final thing you have to focus on is consistency. You have to be able to handle the most challenging orders with the same level of technique and skill as the easiest ones. This is particularly important when you have guests from all over, each with their own tastes and preferences. You have to cater to their own dietary needs while also giving them the opportunity to enjoy our local delicacies.
This last point is making Paimon's head spin.
Don't worry. Matter of fact, someone as well-traveled as you may even have a better handle on it than me once you get started. And of course, I'll be around to help you over the next few days. I don't think we'll have any trouble making all our guests feel right at home. There's no time to lose, so let's get started. I imagine you probably have a good handle on the cooking side of things already. What you need to pay attention to is remembering each table's order. Try not to get them mixed up.
Oh, Paimon's memory is like a steel trap. This is gonna be a cinch. Which ticket are we on again? Table 1 was onions, but no chilies. Table 2 was chilies, but no onions. And table 3 was, Table 3 was chilies, but hold the chilies? Ah! Was Paimon just sleep floating? We didn't even get a break in the middle. Paimon's brain is turned to mush. Is it always this busy here?
No, but this is peak season. You both did a mighty fine job for your first time serving guests at the inn. Luckily, all our customers were familiar faces this time around, so we didn't get any strange requests. Otherwise, today would have been even more challenging.
No strange request? Someone asked for almond tofu drizzled in soy sauce. Even Paimon has never tried that combination.
It's a wide world out there. People have all kinds of different tastes. Being able to cater to all is the real essence of Liyue cuisine. Also, the thing about requests is that they're usually very specific. So as long as you do what they asked, you're unlikely to have any issues. What's really tricky is when guests give you free rein to do anything you want.
Excuse me. Are you still open by any chance?
Huh? Paimon knows that voice. Let's go check it out!
What should we do? It doesn't look like anyone's here. If only we'd gotten here a bit sooner.
It's all right. If we start building a campfire now, we'll be eating before too long.
Right. Besides, if anyone's to blame, it's Linny. So busy being a greedy culture vulture that he lost track of time.
Linny, Lynette, Fremine, it is you!
Paimon? So, is the Traveler here?
Traveler, Paimon! What a nice surprise!
Paimon was gonna say the same thing! We're just lending a helping hand at the inn. Anyway, so that's how we ended up here. But what about you guys? Don't tell us. Father sent you on another mission?
No, quite the opposite, actually. We're in Liyue on vacation, and while we're here, I thought a cultural tour might be in order.
Father said we deserve some rest after everything that happened recently. Otherwise, it could jeopardize our next mission.
It's not every day we get this kind of opportunity. Linny thought it might be fun to spend some time in Liyue, especially since it's Lantern Rite season.
We could hardly pass up the opportunity to watch a Liyue-style magic show. Although, I think they call it conjuring here.
In our time here, we've seen conjuring tricks incorporated into a Liyue opera show, and even a wushu dance. It was amazing.
So, we decided to stay here for a few more days to see what other forms of inspiration this land might have in store for us. We visited Granny Roshin in Chingsa village not long ago, and today we continued our cultural tour in the area around here.
In the end, though, we lost track of time. We haven't even eaten anything yet.
And speaking of eating, as you know, seafood is a big part of both Liyue and Fontaine cuisine, but it's cooked very differently here. We simply had to try some local seafood after coming all this way. That's another reason why we decided to extend our trip.
Oh, need any recommendations? What have you tried so far?
That fish one with the misleading name. Sounds bland, but it's drowning in hot chilies.
Oh, you mean blackback perch soup? You're right, the name doesn't give much away.
It looked and smelled so appetizing that Lynette took a huge mouthful, blissfully unaware that she was about to set her mouth on fire. She could barely speak for the rest of the day after that.
Luckily, that wasn't a huge adjustment for her.
What? Aren't you guys hungry too?
Yes, a little.
Yes, I'm ready to eat. Traveler, I'm afraid we'll have to send you back to the kitchen now. Good question. I doubt we'll be able to decipher the menu, so why don't you recommend something? You should be pretty familiar with our tastes.
One more thing. Please, if you have a heart, don't make it spicy.
Fontaine, huh? No wonder they can't handle too much spice. Still, if we make the food too bland, they might as well be eating back home. There's this crab and shrimp stir-fry I know that could work. It's quite heavily seasoned, but it's a lot milder than it looks. It has a light but really satisfying flavor.
Ooh, that sounds perfect! What's it called?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. They call it the Palace Jewels. The crab roe is supposed to look like pearls of gold, and the shrimp meat like chunks of jade. Here's the recipe. When you're ready, go ahead and give it a try.
Sorry for the wait. This dish is called the Palace Jewels. Enjoy.
Ah, yes. We meant to say, you two must be tired after a long day of work. Do you want to eat with us?
Oh, now that you mention it, Paimon is a little hungry. Well, if you insist, then who are we to refuse? Oh, right, of course. You're still our customers. Why aren't you eating?
The sauce looks a little overpowering.
According to Liyue custom, it's probably good table manners to let someone else go first.
Looks delicious, traveler. I guess I'll dig in first. Here goes.
What is it? Do you need some water?
No, it's delicious. The flavor is so pure. It's drenched in sauce, but somehow it just enhances the natural flavor of the seafood. Try it for yourselves.
Alright.
What is that? Crab roe?
Yep, you have quite the palate, Lynette.
No wonder it pairs so well with the shrimp meat. I've never seen it prepared this way before.
According to the creator, chewy crab complements succulent shrimp, making a spectacular seafood ensemble with a succulent flavor and luscious mouthfeel. The crab roe glitters like pearls of gold, and the shrimp shines like chunks of jade. Hence its name, palace jewels.
So that's where the name comes from. Huh. I suppose it's quite fitting then.
Was Paimon always this well-spoken?
This dish must be right up your alley, Lynette. Huh?
It's half gone already? When did that happen?
I heard that in Liyue, the biggest compliment you can pay to the chef is to leave a clean plate. It's delicious. Thank you ever so much.
Wait, don't fight over it! Hey, leave some for Paimon!
I think I'm finally getting the hang of chopsticks. Yeah. Well, Linny and Lynette picked it up in no time, but they're naturally dexterous. Unlike me, it's taken me a lot longer, but I'm slowly getting there. Oh, speaking of chopsticks, in one of the shows we've seen here, someone performed a conjuring trick using a bowl and chopsticks. So, if I want to be a good magician's assistant, I need to keep practicing.
Lynette's not usually so forthcoming about what she likes. But this time, well, she's expressed it in more ways than one. I guess you've rubbed off on her too. Or maybe your cooking is simply too delicious to resist. The next time our paths cross in Fontaine, you'll have to fire up your cooking skills for my other siblings as well. How does that sound, oh great master chef? Oh yeah? Well then, I'll have to clear my schedule.
Guess where you're from. Calorie surplus detected. Digestion mode engaged. Yeah. Well, Linny and I are usually careful about what we eat because we have to stay in performance shape. That, plus it's generally bad manners to overindulge at the dinner table. But once in a while, it's nice to treat yourself in the company of family. Besides, if I'd waited until my brothers were finished trying to outpolite each other, the food would have gone cold.
So your friends like the dish, huh? Well done. Not bad at all for your first day on the job. There'll be more to come, so keep it up.
Have you ever seen any stickers on my back? Do me a favor and take... off. Malazines like to play pranks sometimes.
Morning. The boss tells me that both new and returning customers have nothing but good things to say about you. I have to admit, I was a little worried about throwing you right into the deep end, but it looks like you've got what it takes to handle the day-to-day here. so it should be plain sailing. Well, just as long as we don't run into any extremely picky customers with unreasonably specific requests.
Oh, have you had someone like that before?
Of course! The worst are those old scholars who have barely cooked a day in their life, but think reading a stack of books on the topic makes them the expert. They criticize you for no reason, claiming your cooking method isn't faithful to the original, or that the flavor profile isn't authentic because you used an ingredient that wasn't in their beloved centuries-old version of the recipe.
This is Wang Shuin. It does have the look and feel of a time-honored establishment. Oh, innkeeper! We'll have each of your signature dishes, please, as fast as you can serve them. The most expensive ones.
Farazan! Oops, Madam Farazan.
Oh my! Traveler, Paimon, whatever are you doing here?
We could ask you the same thing. Where'd you suddenly get the funds to go sightseeing? And to order the most expensive things on the menu?
I'm not here to sightsee. Exemplary scholars like myself are highly sought after by cruise operators in need of an onboard consultant as they travel the world.
Madam Farazan, please, slow down. None of us slept last night. How come Madam Farazan still has so much energy? If she's really over 100 years old, I don't understand how she keeps going.
It's all my fault. She's been like this ever since I told her I'd be paying the expenses.
Layla! And Dory? Huh. Never would have bet on this combination.
Temporary chef, huh? Wow. No rest for the wicked. Well, if the chef here is trusting you to run his whole kitchen, then I've got no doubt we're in for some authentic Liyue specialties.
So, why are you all in Liyue again? Something about being an onboard consultant?
I got my hands on a new boat from Fontaine a while ago, equipped with cutting-edge navigation technology. If we manage to spread the word, it could have huge business potential. Right now, we're doing some test runs. We sailed from Port Ormos to Rito, then from Rito to Liyue Harbor. Next, we're planning to go to Dornman Port.
Oh, Madam Farazan and me were hired to fine-tune the compass and other equipment. We sailed around the Sea of Clouds all of last night to put the system through some stress testing.
Overtime for which they'll both be fairly compensated. They're both here willingly. The contract is crystal clear on that.
You really cover all your bases, don't you? Let Paimon guess. Paying the expenses is part of the compensation, isn't it? No wonder Madam Farazan is going for all the most expensive dishes.
It's not every day someone tells you to order whatever you like. Now, first up, we'll have the... Farazan, Madam Farazan, that is. While I am more than happy to treat you both to the most expensive dishes on the menu, we must remember that most expensive does not always mean best. I've heard that the most expensive dishes in Liyue are usually either seafood-based or take an exceptionally long time to prepare. Now, I don't know about you two, but after so many days at sea, I don't think I can so much as look at another piece of seafood again for at least the foreseeable future. Huh. That's actually a good point. Not to mention that poor Layla here looks like she's about to faint from hunger.
Huh? Oh, that's not because of hunger.
Surely the wise and virtuous Madame Farazan could not bear to watch her poor students sit here and waste away. Oh, well, of course I care about my students' well-being, but why do I feel like I'm being tricked? So, let's not order anything that'll take too long to prepare. Aside from that and seafood, we'll take whatever other expensive dishes you have. Over to you, Traveler.
seafood and nothing that takes too long to cook. The rest is up to you. I had my eye on Adeptus Temptation, bamboo shoot soup, and golden shrimp balls. But I suppose they'll have to wait for the next time. But that could be years from now.
Aw, Madame Farazan looks so deflated all of a sudden. Please still try to choose dishes on the expensive side, okay?
So, expensive, but no seafood, and nothing that takes too long to cook. That rules out pretty much our entire menu. Do these people get a kick out of being impossible to please?
Ugh, that Dory! Is she doing this on purpose?
This isn't Lioli Pavilion or Xinhua Kiosk. This is Wangshu Inn. We don't stock up on rare and exotic ingredients. We only get them in if someone puts in a special reservation. Well, if we're stuck with regular ingredients and we're on a time limit, there's only one way to bump up the price. And that's by cooking a dish that uses the chef's expertise and creativity to the fullest. As it happens, I know a recipe for something called trembling strings and rushing reeds. It can be whipped up quickly with what we already have in the kitchen. One plate usually goes for 30,000 mora.
30,000? But if it's quick to make and isn't fancy, what exactly makes it so special?
Quick doesn't have to mean quick and easy. To perfect this dish, you need expert knife work and very precise control over the heat. You have to finely slice several different types of meat into fine threads, knead them together into strips, then gently stir-fry them in the pan. What you end up with is a whole variety of flavors that come through layer by layer. This dish is unique in offering a harmonious blend of multiple kinds of meat, all cooked to perfection, while still bursting with their own distinct flavors. Do it right, and you've got a culinary masterpiece in your hands. But if you botch it, it's just a bunch of meat thrown on a plate.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! So this dish gets its value not from the ingredients, but the chef's expertise!
Now, don't worry. I can take care of the kneading and other prep work for you. You just focus on bringing it all together.
Believe in yourself. You can do this! And if you mess it up, Paimon will still be happy to eat it. enjoy.
Ooh, smells delightful.
Oh, we meant to ask, have you two eaten breakfast yet? If not, why don't you join us at the table?
Did Dory just offer us a free meal? When did she become so generous?
Let's not forget that the biggest business deals are always settled over a meal. Come on, sit down and join us. Everyone, dig in. This dish looks simple enough, and I did my research, so surely it can't cost all that much. Worst case scenario, maybe 10,000 mora?
This dish had better be worth working overtime all night for. Well, traveler, this is the moment of truth.
Oh, so tired. So sleepy. I just want to eat up and get to bed. Is this foul? Oh, wait. No, the texture is more like shroom boar.
There's a different flavor in every bite. And the discerning palate might detect a hint of something smoked, too. Quite marvelous. How is this made? Ham? But I don't see any ham anywhere. Oh.
Haha! So you've noticed. Yep, every single strip is kneaded from several different kinds of meat. Paimon and Yanxiao put in a lot of effort to make it just right. So I'm not an expert or anything, but don't different meats have different cooking times? How is everything in this dish cooked to perfection? Well, you see, that's a trade secret.
Wow. So this dish really is one of a kind. That makes the whole trip worth it. By the way, does this special dish have a name?
Paimon forgot to mention that part. The dish is called Trembling Strings and Rushing Reeds, alluding to the way that the different threads of meat are woven together. And also,
The complex layers of flavor, yes? Akin to the harmonies of a musical ensemble? The name, if I'm not mistaken, is a Liyue idiom that evokes a vigorous orchestral performance featuring both stringed and wind instruments playing together. Quite an apt name for this dish.
how did you know all that?
Every student has to master at least 20 languages before they graduate. Wait, is that not a requirement anymore?
Huh? Oh, that used to be a thing? Oh, Paimon almost forgot that you're also from Haravatat.
So, anyway, how much does this dish cost?
Oh, don't worry, not too much. That'll be, 30,000 more, please and thank you.
30,000? About that, Paimon, traveler, I merely invited you to join us at the table, did I not? I don't believe I committed to paying for you. So, perhaps we could split the bill accordingly?
Oh, Paimon knew it was too good to be true. Yeah! As a famous merchant, you've got a reputation to uphold.
But every single mora matters, you know? All right. I'll just consider that the cost of learning about this dish. Once I'm back in Sumeru, I'll be sure to find someone to help me recreate the dish. And then I'll make it all back.
I feel so much better now that I've gotten some food in me. Delicious food really does wonders for one's spirits. My advisor said that young people shouldn't stay cooped up in the academia all the time. They told me that I should take the chance to get out and see the stars in other skies. Maybe I can think of it as my first internship experience. But it sure is exhausting.
Now, how should I justify a high price tag for a dish without any fancy ingredients? Maybe start by giving it a fancy-sounding name? I should have known you'd see through me. Everyone was exhausted and seasick when I made the offer last night, so I figured they probably wouldn't be able to eat all that much today. Well, you saw how that turned out. I tried placing some limitations on the order to keep costs under control, but you still found a way around my schemes. That's what I get for not thoroughly researching the market beforehand.
Hey, you're not even paying those too much of a salary. Just treat them fairly next time and don't be so stingy. Well, yeah, but that's why Paimon's qualified to talk about this.
Even though I didn't get to try Adeptus Temptation or Bamboo Shoot Soup, this trembling strings and rushing reeds was still quite impressive. Thank you for making it. Well, about that, even though newfangled contraptions are hardly my cup of tea, Dory's offer was quite enticing. She said that every time we stopped at a new harbor, I'd be free to go and pick out some ancient books at the market and bring them back to Sumeru. I couldn't resist an offer like that. So I offered to join for the lowest possible pay to undercut all my Kasharawar competitors.
We're off to a good start this morning. Keep up the good work. I'm counting on you.